believe you guys didn't catch anything.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
2 back-to-back sports centuries, all this week on ESPN Classic. Old school, new school. Each night, the icons of yesteryear, then the heroes of here and now. How they did it back in the day, and how they do it today. The class acts and the showmen. Champions who redefined the game. Superstars with a style all their own. Sports Century's Old School, New School Week. All this week, 8 Eastern on ESPN Classic.
Syracuse fans, the orange is #1. Now, Sports Illustrated honors the national champion Syracuse Orangemen with a fantastic national championship package free with your paid subscription. Start out with a special Sports Illustrated National Championship hardbound collector's issue, celebrating the Orange's run to #1. It's gold-lettered and individually numbered, a cherished keepsake you'll treasure forever. Call now and you'll also get this collectible mini basketball designed exclusively for Sports Illustrated in celebration of Syracuse's first national championship. Both are free when you order 56 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.59 an issue. Save more than 50% off the cover price. When you use your credit card, you'll get another great gift available only from Sports Illustrated. This Syracuse National Championship hat free. Celebrate the #1 team in the nation with 3 great gifts from the nation's #1 sports magazine. Sports Illustrated. Call now.
Baseball tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday. Boomer back. This is his last before the NFL draft. Rangers and A's at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And don't forget, folks, baseball tonight starts the day off at 12:30 Eastern Time. Bobby talked about the formula of success for a season, the formula for success for an organization. Well, certainly John Hart and the Cleveland Indians did it a few years back, now the Minnesota Twins. But as pitching staffs go, it's not a one, but two-headed monster teams are after. Schilling and Johnson, the model that several other teams now find themselves getting comfortable with.
Came with a fastball and strikes him out to end the inning.
Struck him out. Last season, baseball fans marveled over 39-year-old Randy Johnson and 36-year-old Curt Schilling combining for 47 wins and 650 strikeouts. Now, in 2003, the Diamondback duo have 1 win, and the focus has turned to youth.
Strike 3 called, another breaking ball. Got it!
In Chicago, 25-year-old Kerry Wood and 22-year-old Mark Pryor are the closest thing to Johnson and Schilling in the under-30 crowd. Both have overpowering fastballs, but like Arizona's twosome, have an extra pitch in their arsenal that keeps hitters guessing. In his 5th season, Wood's success comes from the fact that he's finally healthy, as evidenced by his career-high 33 starts in 2002. Pryor struck out 147 batters in just 116 innings last year. And if his early season success is any indication, Dusty Baker will have no choice but to turn Pryor loose for his first full season this year. Houston's Roy Oswalt and Wade Miller, 25 and 26 respectively, finished last year looking like the heirs to the Johnson-Schilling throne. Oswalt established himself as a true workhorse, going at least 6 in 31 of his 34 starts and winning 10 games after the All-Star break. Miller, who throws a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, backed up a 16-8 season in 2001 with a 15-4 mark last year. Also finishing strong, going 11-1 in the second half with an ERA of 2. But no discussion of under 30 pitchers can come to an end without looking at Oakland's trifecta. 27-year-old Tim Hudson, 25-year-old Mark Mulder, and the baby 24-year-old Barry Zito. Zito won the Cy Young in 2002, and fellow southpaw Mark Mulder combined to go 42-12 last year. 8 more wins than Oswalt and Miller, and up their combined career winning percentage to almost 700. Throw in Hudson, who won 64 of his 90 career decisions coming into the season, and Oakland definitely gets an A in this class. Now they're making a habit, too, of either finishing first or second in that Cy Young race. But if you had to build your organization around any staff right now, young staff, who would you pick?
I'm going to Oakland. It's not even a question. With Mulder, Zito, and Hudson, these guys are how old? 25, 24, and 27 years old. I mean, Tim Hudson, he's got great stuff. I think the big thing about these 3 guys is, with the exception of Mulder, who was hurt the first year of their postseason, they've all got 3 years of postseason experience at such a young, rich age. I just think they're going to be fantastic for years to come.
He says no question, Bobby. He says
build around that.
Question.
No question.
Well, you definitely can't. Everybody can't have the same team. They are very good. But I like the Cubbies. I think that
there's a question.
Right now, there is a question. Kerry Wood, four Wood, by the way. He gets 4 runs every time he goes out there from his offense in the first inning. But he has dynamic stuff. It's fastball, awesome breaking ball, and I think that Pryor has a fabulous mechanic. He knows what he's doing. Terrific touch for the game of baseball. He's one of the best young pitchers I've ever seen.
So A's, Cubs, obviously there's a question. Can you break that tie, Peter?
Well, I do love the Cubs' potential, and then you throw in Cruz, Zambrano, Angel Guzman, who'll be up before the end of the year. But there is a difference. None of them have won 15 games in the big leagues.
True.
Every one of those 3 guys with Oakland have all won 20 games. They've all been first or second for the Cy Young. Since Barry Zito came up on July 20th of 2000, Zito, Mulder, Hudson are the 3 winningest pitchers in the American League. Ted Lilly, and they have this kid, Rich Harden, coming, who's been compared to Jim Palmer.
So you think it's the Giants?
I think the Oakland. You have to go with Oakland.
He's going with Montreal, and I like Montreal also.
You like the A's?
I like the A's.
Yeah, I like the A's.
And the Astros aren't bad either.
Oh, the Astros are very, very good.
Too. A lot of young staffs with more than one good pitcher. All right, folks, baseball tonight rolls. We'll get to touch them all, home runs that meant big things when they left, and the guys who kept the balls in. Web gems are ahead when we continue on Baseball Tonight.
What you save on Ramada's weekend rate? Spend on film. Book your own getaway at Ramada.com. Ramada, a very good place to be.
This guy tells his buddy there's nothing he'd like more than a new riding lawnmower. Nothing too expensive, he says, but nothing's gonna give me any trouble. Nothing too complicated. Nothing better than making it look good and getting on with it. His buddy looks at him and says, nothing runs like a deer. Introducing the John Deere 100 series. Durability, precision, and exclusive support. For anyone who wants a tractor that's easy to run, easy to maintain, and easy to afford.
Thanks. There's something I want to ask you. Will you make a collect call by dialing down the center with 1-800-CALLATT? It's free for you and cheap for them. Can you get this? I forgot my wallet.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
I don't even know why I bother. You're not even listening now, are you? Do you want to go home?
People do some strange things to cars. That's why there's Carfax. We'll give you the real history of any used car. Go to Carfax.com or ask your dealer for a Carfax report.
A reminder from Ramada. When you turn in your expense report, act tired and try not to smile. Ramada, a very good place to be.
Tonight on SportsCenter, who'll survive the NBA's first round? Roy Williams makes a risky return to Kansas. Could the younger Vic be even better? Plus, LeBron and Jordan courtside. SportsCenter, 11 Eastern, ESPN.
Baseball Tonight, brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
Baseball Tonight update. We saw Darren Dreifert get touched up by fellow pitcher Adam Eaton. Here's Dreifert's chance. Ooh, that's high heat he couldn't catch up to, so the Pods still on top of the Dodgers, 1-0. Let's touch them all. Mike Piazza. We call this a tone setter. This at PNC Park.
Oh, Piazza hits one. Did he get enough? Locked and watching. Oh, the batter's eye. Did he get enough? Are you kidding?
How much is enough? The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Carl Everett's got 4 homers in 4 games. Rangers,
One thing that helps as a switch hitter is to be able to be on the same side for consistent days. And that's what I'm seeing. He's on the left side for a few days in a row. Look out.
Oh, against the Rockies. Carlos Baerga of the Diamondbacks hits a grand slam and 2 home runs.
Another great teammate right there, and he's doing well, and everyone's happy for him.
Big night for Javi Lopez, his native country of Puerto Rico. First home run. That breaks a 6-6 tie. And guess who wasn't done? Baerga's not the only guy hitting grand slams tonight.
And the 1-2 to Javi. Deep to left field. What a night for Javi Lopez. Wow.
To break an umbrella.
A big, brave win over the Expos. And reality is set in Puerto Rico for Montreal. Atlanta's back. Now the Gems. 2 of them for Brandon Larson. First one, ground ball to third. Quick diving stop to his left. Up and at him for the out.
Well, they've been waiting for big things from him over at third base.
He's another guy who had a lot of injuries in spring training, didn't play very much. This is really in the middle of spring training in the cold weather.
Same game, same team.
Lopez, good play to get to the ball, and from his backside, what a play. That's one of the best you will ever see. Flat on the ground, he throws out Miller, and that is leathered larceny at its best.
That's just not right. Way to go, Felipe. Now David DeLucci and a ball to right.
Play of the day.
I'm not what?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to dive for
Why
that
did you
ball.
just catch the ball?
Come on, play of the day. Well, Peter questioning the whip, Gemma. Randall Simon with a leaping grab. That's almost legit.
That's great reaction. Good job.
Who else makes this play in the majors?
Not many. Great arm.
Who else?
Jeter, Rodriguez. There's a few guys that got the arm to make that
They
play.
both do.
How about this guy? Coming up at midnight, we'll talk about Miguel Tejada's struggles at shortstop. Is there concern in Oakland? Darren Dreifort can't beat the Padres. He's 0 for 8 against him, or 0 and 8. What will change? And it's cold. So we'll look at some fashion statements being made by some players and the effect that stuff has. I mean, you're a native West Coast guy. You can't stand this cold stuff. Did it affect you when you
I
played?
took no BP or nothing. I hated the cold weather.
Oh, poor Harold. You might sting your hands a little.
Peter,
he'd have made me go out there.
Stuff.
You should have been out there. What's
No
What's
gloves.
the biggest thing that happened so far?
The biggest thing today?
Yeah.
I think Atlanta beating Montreal.
You do?
Absolutely.
Statement?
That was just to come back the way they came back. It doesn't guarantee that they're in the World Series, but it just guarantees that, guess what? The road to the National League East still runs through Atlanta.
How about for the teams, Pedro Martinez and Kurt Schilling?
They needed to come up big. They want to see these guys healthy and good. They were both very good today.
Ready to do it? You ready to do it
the
again?
way they
in an hour?
dominated.
12 o'clock, we'll be back.
We'll be back. All right. Sports
Get better, Mom.
next.
This is SportsCenter.
Two Major League aces in a hole. Whose slump would end first? Islanders and Bruins on the brink. Could Dallas do the same for Edmonton? And who will survive the NBA's first round? T-Wolves, Magic, Spurs, Celtics? Take your pick. Roy Williams makes an unceremonious return to Kansas, while LeBron and MJ hold court in D.C. The Hokies hope to put a new Vic into Vicksburg. But how good is he?
You watching, you would think it was me.
Serving it up. SportsCenter now.
Hi, everybody. Glad to have you with us on SportsCenter with Dan Patrick. I'm Reese Davis. You know, Greg Maddux got off to a rough start, finally took care of his business. Now some other aces trying to deal their way out of losing hands.
Yeah, Kurt Schilling and Pedro Martinez, a combined 43-11 last season, a combined 0-3 this season heading into tonight. Pedro hosted the Devil Rays. Schilling welcomed the Rockies to the Bob. And Schilling's problem this year, at least part of the problem, is control. 9 walks his first 18 innings. Top two tied at 1, Preston Wilson on a 1-2 pitch, and David DeLucci lays out. DeLucci also 2 for 5 at the plate, stayed tied at 1. Next batter, Jose Hernandez. And Schilling, not surprising to see Jose go down. Schilling throwing cheese to Charles Johnson, gets out of the inning. Carlos Bye-Bye Baerga. That used to be his nickname. Base is loaded, 2 outs, and it's gone. Diamondbacks go up 5-1. Top 3. Jason Jennings, the whiff with Schilling. 9th straight batter retired, part of 19 in a row by Schilling. Yeah, that's Carlos Baerga again. 8th career multi-homer game. He matched his home run total from all of last year in Boston. Tonight, Schilling gets Chris Steins. Schilling, 10th strikeout of the game. Complete game, 101 pitches, 78 were strikes. More importantly, no walks. Arizona goes on to win it 11-2. Schilling led the majors a year ago in fewest walks per 9, 1.1. Thursday against the Rockies, he showed why. 9 innings, no walks, his first win of the season. 77% of his pitches went for strikes.
Pedro making his way onto the field, setting up outside. This is driven towards right center field, in on the right side. And he promptly goes after the first one. Ball 4, and Martinez walks in a run. Clearly not the Pedro Martinez we are used to seeing.
That he was not. He gave up a career-high 10 runs to the O's on Saturday. Back against the Fighting Pinellas, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, Rocco Baldelli. Rocco in a ski mask, but no trouble for Pedro. Baldelli's hitting streak ended at 13. Damian Easley then went down. Ray Ordonez, likewise, I'm sure. Top 3, no score. Aubrey Huff at the plate. Oh, that's a sure infield hit. Not even Nomar Garciaparra can make that play. Garciaparra with a tremendous play, and we are scoreless through 3. Bottom 4, Kevin Millar at the plate. Logs on. Out to the paying customers who now get to sit above the Green Monster and think he cleared them. Millar's 4th. Red Sox up 1-0. Easily grounding to 3rd, and a double play to end the 7th. Pedro went 7, gave up just 2 hits. Red Sox win 6-0. It's a 500th loss in Tampa Bay's 6-year history, and Pedro with yet another gem against Tampa Bay. Just one guy reached second base. 5th time in 14 starts, Pedro has allowed no earned runs against Tampa Bay. In fact, in 8 of his 14 starts, he's allowed 1 earned run or less.
Edmonton Oilers caught a break heading into tonight's Game 5 in Dallas, but it was not the break they wanted. Radek Dvorak, who scored a goal in Game 3, is lost indefinitely with a fractured hand. Dvorak suffered that break Tuesday night during the Stars' series-tying victory. Mike Modano came in with 2 goals in the postseason. No score. First period, Scott Young, the high stick by Ethan Moreau. Stars get a 4-minute power play. Brendan Morrow's shot gets behind Tommy Salo, and the puck will be on the line. Ruled no goal. Ensuing face-off, Young shot from the point, and they don't have to review this one. Young's 3rd of the playoffs. Dallas up 2-0 on the rush. Young's shot is stopped. Modano is going to go top shelf. 3 points in the game for Modano. Georges Laraque slashes Marty Turco's leg, and Turco goes down. Coach Dave Tippett upset about the no call, but Turco, he's a goalie. He would stay in. Sergei Zubov. Sergei Zubov, 93 points in the playoffs since 1994, second most by a defenseman during that span.
Inside this edition of SportsCenter, LeBron James shoots for an all-star MVP three-peat. First Cleveland, Chicago, and tonight on the home court of his all-world idol. Kevin Garnett finally landed a little home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, but at what cost? The Lake Show heads to Timberland. He's heading for a first-round pick. Roy Williams going back to Kansas. Former players took the mic. Would they fire any parting shots? 2 more hockey teams facing elimination. Could the Isles and the Bees keep their off-season plans on ice one more night? Plus, A-Rod and the Rangers continue to score in bunches, but could the Angels steal the win with a 9th-inning rally? And at Wrigley this afternoon, Sammy Sosa, and I mean that, but who else was putting some serious wood on the ball?
I won! I won! Whoa! Yeah, I won! Yes! Woohoo! I won! Winner! Oh yeah! I won! Woohoo! I won! Yes! Winner! I used to be nobody, and I won!
Play McDonald's Winning Time Game, and you can win your favorite food, a PlayStation 2 with 5 gotta-have games, or even yank and bank 100 G's in cash.
All that for fries? Yeah. Imagine if you won the PlayStation 2.
Hello? What? They're interested in the house? Oh, that's great. Now? No, now it's not a good time. Not a good time.
Does your real estate agent care about your schedule? Century 21 pledge point number 4. Century 21 agents value and respect your time.
You're where?
Just one of the ways to help reduce the stress of selling real estate. Century 21, real estate for your world.
The intensity picks up. Now, the game changes. Now, champions rise up. Now, the NBA playoffs begin Saturday on ESPN.
SportsCenter, brought to you by McDonald's. And Century 21 Fine Homes and Estates, your source for luxury real estate.
Our ESPN.com question of the night. Asked which team will win the Western Conference playoffs, this may be a sneaky way of saying who's going to win the NBA championship this year. Kings, Lakers, Mavs, Spurs, Wolves. Later in the show, Greg Anthony will stop by and pick each of the 8 first-round series.
For now, though, back to baseball. Reds and the Cubs, top 4, 6-0 Cubs. Austin Kearns at the plate. He smokes one down the foul line and just rips the glove off the hand of the youngster there. Moises Alou takes care of him a little bit, but that still stings. I don't care what Tom Hanks says. It's all right. 2 pitches later, Kearns just proving himself to be a menace at the ballpark. Almost took out an usher. Everybody's okay. Kearns stayed in the game. Bottom 5, 6-1 Cubs, Kerry Wood. Kerry Wood, the 5th home run of his career, first of the season, and the Cubs laying it on the Reds for the 3rd straight day at 8-1. Now, take a look at this split screen. Wood homers about every 55.3 at-bats in his career. His teammate Mark Bresolani just goes yard every 77 at-bats or so. Sammy does so with much more frequency. 3-run job, his 4th of the year, and the fan who grabs this ends up having to do a little Spider-Man act and get back up there to his window. Yes, sir. It's all about being a baseball fan. Bresolani, you know it's going to take you 77 more bats to see that again, Dan. Mark Bresolani goes yard. He was 2 for 4 in the game. Cubs go up 15-3, double figures for the 3rd straight day. A Cub historian said that feat was unaccomplished since 1894 before this series. You see the great play by Felipe Lopez, but couldn't stop the Cubs. They win it 16-3. And you saw Kerry Wood hit the home run. It's just sort of continuing what we've seen lately. Last Friday, Brad Penny going yard, solo shot to left, and it started a veritable power shot by a bunch of pitchers. Brian Lawrence, the home run, his first major league job on Friday. That was followed by a very good hitting pitcher, the former Giant, now current Brave, Russell Ortiz. It happened a couple of times in the Florida-Atlanta game. In fact, Carl Pavano had a triple in this same game on Saturday, you see. And then Tuesday, Sean Chacon. Chacon, feel for you. And Tuesday, Chacon goes yard, and get the idea that maybe 30 years after the implementation of the designated hitter, we really don't need those guys anymore. Matt Morris yesterday of the Cardinals, solo shot to left center, and then, as you saw earlier this afternoon at Wrigley Field, Kerry bringing the big wood. A 2-run shot to right center, so you know, you see all of this videotaped evidence, and in the 30th year of the DH, is there any greater evidence for abolishing the DH than the prowess of the National League pitchers? Or maybe if you look at this, maybe we should just abolish the Tigers this season. Now, take a close look at this. Pitchers in the National League have more hits, more home runs, more RBI, and a better batting average than the entire Detroit Tiger team. Why did Alan Trammell take the job again?
Braves and Expos closing out their series in Puerto Rico. Expos down 4-3 in the 6th. Bases loaded for the Puerto Rican native, Jose Vidro. 7 of his 10 RBIs this season have come in Puerto Rico. Expos up 6-4. Game tied at 6 as we move to the 7th. Another Puerto Rican native, Javi Lopez, with 1 man aboard. Gone. 2-run homer. Javi Lopez is 2nd of the season, and his dad in attendance, watching as the Braves go up 8-6. Same score, Roberto Hernandez against Endy Chavez. 2-run homer, 1st of the year for Chavez, tied at 8, and we go into extra innings. 9-8 Braves, Rocky Bitto against Andrew Jones. Vlad Guerrero coughs it up. Marcus Giles scores. Runners end up at 2nd and 3rd. Guerrero also 0 for 4 on the night with 2 errors. After an intentional walk, Lopez up with a chance to be a hero again. This time with the bases loaded, hometown hero.
Deep to left field. What a night for Javi Lopez. Wow. The island may never recover.
2 homers, 6 RBIs for Lopez. Braves win it, reaching 500 for the first time this season in a slugfest. Warmer weather, better results for the Bravos against the Expos in their season opening series at home against Montreal. The Braves managed to score just 2 runs and hit no homers in the last 3 days down in San Juan. The Braves 19 runs, 8 homers, and a 3-game sweep of the Expos.
The American League, Angels and Rangers. Ryan Drees, 2nd start of the season. He's got a 1.35 ERA. That's like with a decimal point after the 35. As in 135, second pitch of the game, David Eckstein with his second career leadoff homer. And Drees's ERA now 163.64. Angels with a 1-0 lead. 3 batters later, gets Garrett Anderson. The ERA drops after the second straight strikeout, down under 100 to 63. But then when Troy Gloss rips the Drees offering out of the yard, and the Angels had a 4-0 lead, the ERA was up there back at 81. But then Drees starts settling down and starts cutting down on the big numbers. Gets Benji Gill. Now we're down in the 20s, 24.32 for an ERA. 5th inning, tied at 4. Angels have him juiced up. Drees takes care of business, again getting Gill. ERA down to 15 and change. He gets Gloss now to ground to third in the 7th, and Drees gets that ERA down to 11.05, cutting 124 runs off his ERA. Oh, by the way, the Rangers win it 9-7.
A's, who snapped a 6-game skid last night, tried to get a split of their 4-game series in Seattle. Eric Chavez, dare I say. And Fuego. 3rd straight game of the homer. All 4 homers this season have come against Seattle pitching. It's 3-2 in the 9th. Still in the 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs. Kaz Sasaki against Terrence Long. Mark McLemore boots the ball. And we're tied at 3, and we head into extra innings. 2 runners on, 2 outs. McLemore. Bottom 10, a little blooper, and that will be a redemption knock. Mike Cameron scores. Mariners win it by the final 4-3.
Ice Capades now, and the Wings were the first team out. 2 more, the Bruins and Islanders, could join them for off-season conditioning by tomorrow. The Bees could find a little hope in knocking out Martin Brodeur from a playoff game for the first time since 1995 in the last outing, as long as they ignore the fact that the Devils' stud goalie bounced back from that hook 8 years ago and held Philly to 2 goals as New Jersey went on the road to the Stanley Cup. The Bees and the Devils, Brodeur trying to close out the Bruins, and, a little bit more history for Brodeur. It was 5 years ago tonight that he helped his team on offense, scored in the playoffs. That was against the Canadiens, and Brodeur more pumped than he ever was for any save. Back to Thursday, first period, no score. This is the more conventional way that Marty Brodeur is one of the best. 28 saves on the night, stopping the backhander from Hal Gill. Still in the first period, Gill just gets crushed along the boards. Puck cycled out. And eventually, the Madden Cruiser will score. John Madden gets credit for the goal. Devils with a 1-0 lead, trying to finish off the Bees. Marty Lapointe whistled for a penalty, and I'm going to take a little out of that playoff check, working on the penalty box camera. Yep. There went the postseason check right there. Second period, still 1-0 Devils. It's worse for Boston. Glenn Murray. Oh, the whip. Virtually. Bruins cannot be happy, and doubtless they were not. Jamie Langenbrunner beats Hackett. Burns, O'Connell, they greet 3-0. The Devils advance, taking care of the Bruins. Senators and the Islanders. Senators leading the series 3-1 over the Isles. Senators looking for that elusive Stanley Cup. It always is elusive. Eric Hearns with the unnecessary cross-check on Sean Van Allen called a penalty. So the Senators go on the power play. Martin Havlat deflected home by Sean Bates. 1-0 Sens. Daniel Alfredson down in the second. He strips Aaron Asham, which will eventually wind up as a Todd White goal. White's 3rd of the playoffs. The Senators with a 2-1 lead. Late in the second, Havlat, that's just showing off. Finds Radek, bonk. 3-1 Ottawa. Senators would have empty netter. They win it 4-1. Ex-Senator Alexei Yashin congratulating his old mates.
Lenny Wilkens is not going to let the worst season of his 30-year NBA career stand in the way of building another winner. Wilkens was fired Thursday by the Raptors following a season that resulted in 58 losses. Wilkens, who has more wins and more losses than any other coach in league history, didn't suit up all 12 of his players in any one game this season due to injuries.
If you can't practice, because you only got 5-6 people who are healthy, you can't implement the things that you want to do. And so injuries had a lot to do with it.
The burdens of the season wore down everyone. And at certain times, we weren't focused like we should be. And we weren't, playing the way we should be. And I think that's understandable but not acceptable.
Vince Carter said Lenny Wilkens didn't define the roles for this team. He said, forget the past. They need to find somebody who knows how to use the talent on this team. Paraphrasing Vince Carter. Since World War II, only one head coach or manager in the NBA, NFL, NHL, or Major League Baseball served more seasons in his respective league than Lenny Wilkens, and that was Don Shula, who coached 33 seasons in the NFL.
Well, his old club, the Tigers, sink to new depths. We'll tell you how Jeff Weaver can lift the Yankees to heights they've never reached, not even in their glorious past. Brad Banks led Iowa to his most wins ever. Now Banks is gone. Now the Hawkeyes plan to keep the momentum rolling. The game day spring tour hits the house that Dallas Clark built.
Nobody but the service experts at Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealers bring you the Blue Waters and the Pirates of the Caribbean. Nobody else offers chances to win great prizes, including movie tickets, a trip to the Caribbean, or to the world premiere of this summer's hot new movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Hurry in to win. And while you're there, get great deals on tires, brakes, and more, and pay later at Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealers.
Nobody can do auto service like we do. Introducing the 7-Up Parade Balloon. It's going to make people want the refreshing taste of 7-Up. And it's completely realistic. I even gave it a pull tab.
Carr brings the offense to the line. It's 3rd and long once again for the Texans.
What does your team need? Watch the 2003 NFL Draft on ESPN because every round counts. Coverage begins next Saturday and Sunday.
What makes SNK's new spring collection of Jones New York suits so spectacular? It's fabrics that play as hard as they work. Fabrics that look and feel luxurious. Fabrics that come in a great assortment of patterns and colors. And now you can save $160 on these great-looking Jones New York suits because at SNK, they're now sale price 2 for $400.
No wonder few stores sell more Jones New York suits than SNK menswear.
Here's what's playing this month on Insight's On Demand TV.
Go time.
You can start any movie anytime you want.
What else can you do?
Even pause, rewind, and fast forward, all with your Insight digital remote.
Oh!
No VCR or DVD player required.
No one in my family has ever gone out with a non-Greek before.
Oh! On Demand TV, only on Insight Digital Cable. What's your insight?
Ohio State might be the undisputed national champion, but they merely share the throne in the Big Ten. Iowa tied the Buckeyes for the conference crown, made a BCS game for the first time, and earned a spring visit from our College Game Day gang. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Lee Corso, who once rallied his Indiana Hoosiers from a 26-3 halftime deficit to beat Iowa at Kinnick Stadium 30-26, are in Iowa City.
Ed, go again. Ed, go again. You got to be aggressive. Let's go. Use those hands. Let's go.
Kirk Ferentz and the Hawkeyes will not sneak up on anybody this season, coming off the Co-Big Ten Championship and the BCS Bowl bid. Our 5 schools and 5-day caravan heads to Iowa City.
Time to get the stakes out, right, Lee?
Yes, sir. Where's that cornfield?
And where's that spring weather? It feels like October. Big Ten weather, and these fans are ready for a football game. Let's bring Michigan in here right today.
Let's do it. It feels good. It feels like football.
Big-time enthusiasm for practice here. You know, Iowa does have to rebuild. All they have to replace is the Heisman runner-up, the best tight end of the country, best offensive line of the country, a total of 6 guys offensively alone who are at the NFL Combine. Lots of voids to fill.
You think it's tough replacing Heisman runner-up Brad Banks at quarterback? Try rebuilding an offensive line that lost 4 starters who had made 132 career starts. The foundation will be lone returnee Robert Gallery, who flips from right tackle to left. Senior quarterback Nathan Chandler, like Banks, is a JUCO transfer who has 1 year to write his legend. He's good, but don't make those Heisman plans just yet. Chandler doesn't have tight end Dallas Clark, who left early for the NFL, so he'll lean on tailbacks Fred Russell and Jamel Lewis. That is, if Lewis can return from a torn left ACL he suffered last week. Last year, the offense carried the defense for the first half of the season. This year, it'll be the reverse. The Hawks are strong up the middle with tackles John Babineau and Jarrett Kloss anchoring the line. Kevin Worthy is true to his name at middle linebacker, and strong safety Bob Sanders is a headhunter and two-time all-conference pick. The Hawks also return All-American kicker Nate Kading, the Groza Award winner who made 21 of 24 field goals last year. Expectations are up in Iowa City, and so is the strength of schedule. October features home dates with Michigan and Penn State, sandwiching a trip to Columbus to face the defending national champs. That critical stretch will determine whether Iowa returns to the BCS or back to the middle of the Big Ten.
That injury to Lewis means the Hawkeyes have had to scale back spring practice. One healthy scholarship running back. They have to avoid injuries at all costs. May not be as flashy an Iowa team. Farron says it'll be more old school this year.
Yeah, I think we're really kind of the flip of last year's ball club. We knew going in last season that we were young on defense, inexperienced in some areas. We were confident we would improve, and we did. And I think now it's the flip. We've got a veteran group on defense, especially up front. And I think those guys have done a great job. So we're going to have to rely on defense. We're going to have to rely on special teams, and then hopefully our offense will progress. And I think they will. I'm real confident based on what I've seen. We'll continue to get better.
Well, Ferentz Lee says he wants to build on the confidence from last season, but maintain that hunger.
Boy, they had a great football season last year, and Kirk Ferentz deserves a lot of credit. But I think it's going to be a lot tougher for the Hawkeyes this year. I'll give you an example. In the Big Ten, they dropped Indiana and Northwestern, who had 6 wins between them. They pick up the Ohio State Buckeyes and Illinois, who had 19 wins between them. And then they dropped Utah State and picked up Arizona State. That's worth a Iowa style. Now, they're talking about the offensive linemen being missing. But here's an interesting fact. 4 of the highest scoring teams in the history of this school was coached by an offensive line coach named Kirk Ferentz. Oh, Kirk knows what he's doing.
Well, that's his specialty. Kirk Ferentz, everybody's talking about this team, and in fact, they've lost 4 offensive linemen getting ready for next year. As Lee said, that's his specialty. And if you look at the players stepping in to fill that void, 3 seniors and a junior, they have experience. The big question is going to be the quarterback. Can Nathan Chandler step in and get it done? It's back behind the center, because there's a tendency at times when a quarterback's filling in to fill in for a guy like Brad Banks to try to do too much. He's a completely different style quarterback. He's more of a drop back quarterback with a big, strong arm. He is clearly the guy coming out of spring, but he has to be careful of trying to do too much. Watching him throw, this guy's the real deal.
6'6", 250, size 17 feet, they tell me.
Man.
All right, let's talk about some contenders for this year's Iowa, a team that might sneak up and get a BCS bid.
Pittsburgh. Yes, sir. Pittsburgh got 17 returning Lettermans, 2 kickers back, and they should have beat Miami last year. And I'm telling you, Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, I know you like Virginia Tech. At Pittsburgh, big ball game.
I'll give you a team. I think is to go out to the Pac-10. Arizona State this year, I think, is going to be a team to keep an eye on. Andrew Walter could be one of the better quarterbacks in all of the country. A lot of speed. They returned 19 starters back. We saw them in their last game last year. Arizona State could be this year's Iowa.
Play here.
Coming right in here.
Yep.
Hawkeyes need to have that pass defense buttoned up. By the way, Iowa has to go to Columbus. That's something that the Buckeye fans are looking forward to, and it's something the Iowa fans aren't shying away from. Let's go back to the studio.
Still plenty more coming up on SportsCenter, including a new first for Yankees pitching, while the Tigers try to avoid a more dubious milestone, something they haven't done since the days of Ty Cobb. Roy returned to Kansas, and as expected, emotions were close to the surface.
Most difficult time was when I got off the bus and I saw those former players lined up out there for me. Thank you.
And the NBA playoff picture's a crowded one, but not for long. We'll make our picks on who's most likely to get bounced from round 1. Plus, no one knows Marcus Vick quite like his big brother, especially when it comes to his skills on the field.
He can flat out run, and when he get in the open field, he has the ability to make moves, the same type of moves that I do.
This is SportsCenter on ESPN.
tonight. All season long on ESPN and ESPN2.
Okay. I'll take Chris's buddy. You playing that?
Why not?
Look up, see blue. Labatt Blue.
This is Micro. He can't see the big picture. He's so focused on eating his lunch, he can't see anything else. I bet if Mike had a camera phone from T-Mobile so he could share pictures with his friends, he'd open his eyes and see everything.
I like clouds.
Clouds are neat.
See? That's what I'm talking about. T-Mobile camera phones. Get more.
Bulletproof Monk is a blast.
Kaboom.
It's the bomb diggity. Critics say it has amazing special effects.
How did you do that?
And a great sense of humor.
What the hell are you looking at?
You're just so damn beautiful. Chow Yun-fat and Sean William Scott expertly blend comedy with high-voltage action.
Yeah.
It will absolutely knock you out.
Kind of like that, didn't you?
Bulletproof Monk. Rated PG-13. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yo. Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow. Yow.
Yo.
Yo. Can I write a check?
Yo.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Yo.
Gee. Yo, gee.
Yo.
This is Labatt Blue, the clean, crisp lager imported daily from Canada. Its refreshing, honest taste comes from a...
Sorry, my bad. I got carried away a little. We're gonna need another blue over here. This one's spilled. Can we get another blue, please? Cold, like this one.
Access the Stanley Cup playoffs. Capitals versus Lightning and Blues versus Canucks. Will you be watching?
Blue Jays and the Yankees. Yankees starting pitching's been outstanding. Alfonso Soriano's been pretty good himself. In the sixth in a 1-0 game, Soriano, his fifth of the year in New York with a 2-0 lead. Soriano taking Pete Walker out. Bottom of the sixth, Hideki Matsui. Matsui and Peyton is now in the open field. Todd Zeal and Jason Giambi score. Matsui with a 2-run double, and the Yankees have a 4-0 lead. And Jeff Weaver, meanwhile, was cruising. It's the Blue Jays in the seventh. First pitch, Eric Hinsky, nasty stuff, grounds out to second. Greg Myers, called strike. Third pitch, called strike to Myers. Now, Weaver said he didn't have that good pop on his fastball when he was warming up. It was just for show, and he had everybody all off balance. Gets Myers to ground to second. Orlando Hudson grounds out. Yankee starters are 10-0 now. Weaver gets to win 4-0. You know, it is a remarkable start by those starters. First time in their glorious history, the Pinstripe starters have opened the season 10-0. Their ERA is .264. And what about that strikeout to walk ratio? 88 Ks to 19 walks is pretty good. Works out to 4.6 Ks for every free pass.
Eric Dybus, the man who attacked an umpire Tuesday night in Chicago, has been charged with 1 felony count of aggravated battery and 1 count of misdemeanor criminal trespass. Bail has been set at $250,000. If convicted, Dybus could be sentenced up to 5 years in prison. His attorney says his client's behavior is the result of an alcohol problem. The Sox and Royals concluded their 3-game series this afternoon. Esteban Loaiza, the former Pirate, Ranger, and Blue Jay, third start of the season, 2 previous starts, both wins over the Tigers. Didn't allow a hit through the first 3 innings of both of those games. In fact, didn't allow a hit through the first 3 innings of Thursday's game. Top 3, Carlos Fabulous, still in the third, Desi Relaford. Loaiza 6 innings, 1 earned, 11 Ks. His ERA is 1.31. Bases loaded. The slumping Carlos Lee was slumping. First homer of the year, 6th career grand slam. Sox up 8-zip. Go on to win it by the final of 8-2.
Tigers and the Twins. Tigers have lost 14 straight to the Twins at the Metrodome. Trammell trying to stop that streak. Corey Koski. Carlos Pena throws the second for 1. Coming back. Oh, that's why you're the Tigers. Koski safe at first instead of an ending double play. Twins have a man on with 2 out. And it often comes back to bite. You can't give them extra outs in the major leagues. Torrey Hunter, his 10th RBI of the year. Twins jump on top 1-0. Cut to the 8th. Kenny Rogers against Dean Palmer. Strikes him out to end the inning. Finished with 9 Ks, 7 hits. Tigers off to their worst start in franchise history, matching that 19-20 mark at 1-13. The Twins, on the other hand, they've now won 15 in a row against Detroit. That's 2 wins shy of a franchise record for consecutive wins against one opponent between 65 and 66. The Twins won 17 in a row against the Red Sox.
Back to the National League, Marlins and Phillies. Mike Lowell never had a triple in his career. That's only 2,041 career at-bats without a triple. That's the most among active players. Pitchers John Burkett and Denny Nagel also in the top 5. So what happens? Top of the first, no score. Minute, first and second, and Mike Lowell takes Kevin Millwood into the corner. Lowell is heading for second. Lowell is hitting for third. First career triple. After 2,042 at-bats, 568 games. Congratulations.
Roy Williams clicked his Tar Heels and returned to Kansas to face and say goodbye again to the Jayhawk Nation he spurned. The new North Carolina coach went back to attend the Jayhawks basketball awards ceremony, which was held at the Lied Center, spelled L-I-E-D. Cruel twist of irony. Not that Williams was untruthful, as some Jayhawks have intimated, just torn between 2 dream jobs and a departure that's been an emotional nightmare.
The easy way out would have been not to come. But I would never do that to these players because I think that that would not show the respect for what they did and what they mean to me. I wanted to see the video and smile and be proud of what these kids accomplished. And they will always be my team. Because thank you.
At one point during the ceremony, a protester in the back of the room shouted "traitor" at Williams. Nick Collison's dad, Dave Collison, then drew cheers by telling the man who yelled, "You should be ashamed of yourself." Upon accepting the Carolina job, Williams told Dean Smith he felt relieved, and then later when talking to a writer said at the moment when they spoke, he no longer felt any relief. Tonight's ceremony could have brought the new Carolina coach some Kansas closure, and emotional Roy Williams spoke with Bob Holtzman.
Well, Roy, you've been very honest about the fact that there have been some things people have said here in Lawrence that have hurt you. Why'd you choose to come back tonight?
Respect for my team, and as I said, it was a great, great run, and I wanted to watch that video and enjoy that run. And at the same time, I really do believe that maybe it's just hope, but I really do believe that it's a minority of people that are saying the negative things, and I hope that people over time will look on it as 15 great years.
I know you're an emotional guy, and this has been an emotional week. What was tonight like?
Probably the most emotional day I've ever had in my life, and there was some worry, but the crowd tonight was unbelievable, and players were unbelievable, and that's the most important.
You've talked about how difficult of a decision this was and how many times you went back and forth. Ever think about rethinking that?
No. When I make a decision, and even though sometimes they take longer than I want to, but we're going to make it work. And, 15 years ago, I almost pulled out during the interview to become the head coach at Kansas because I just wasn't sure, but I stayed and told them yes, and it's worked out marvelously, and had a great, great run.
Well, marvelously may be an understatement. 418 wins. Coach Roy Williams leaves Lawrence after 418 wins and a whirlwind week. Let's go back to the studio.
Bob, Roy, thank you very much. And Williams did get a standing ovation from the crowd there. But, emotions are one thing and business is quite another. Kansas administrators called North Carolina to tell Williams to quit talking about their recruits. Williams has said signees such as incoming Jayhawks Omar Wilkes and David Padgett should have a window of opportunity to go to another school without sitting out a year if the coach that signed them leaves. Currently, that's not allowed by the NCAA.
Head coach Jan Van Bredekoff refused comment Thursday after being fired by St. Bonaventure. It's been 6 weeks since that team boycotted its final 2 games after being punished for using an ineligible player. The school also accepted the resignation of athletic director Gothard Lane. St. Bonaventure announced it has uncovered 3 NCAA violations. In other hoop news, folks in Austin breathing a little easier today after learning the injury T.J. Ford suffered in a pickup game yesterday turned out to be nothing worse than a neck stinger. Ford, a sophomore, still hasn't announced if he's going to enter the NBA draft. Other hoop news, Kentucky center Marquise Estel will skip his final season. He's going pro. Estel averaged 11.6 boards this season for Kentucky. Still to come on the program, we'll sort through the first-round matchups with our NBA Tonight analyst Greg Anthony, get his predictions on possible first-round surprises. Would the Wolves beating the Lakers be considered a surprise? And he liked it so much last night, he did it again tonight. Highlights of the Mets and Pirates just coming out of the oven when Reese and I return in a moment.
Get water. As active as you. Propel Fitness Water. With flavor to hydrate and vitamins to nourish. It's how Gatorade does water. Propel.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert? Let me get this straight. He does brake work.
Yep. Diagnostics. Yep. Wheel alignments. Yep. Root canal. Yep.
Gotcha.
And he replaced your tires.
Sure did.
Oh, that's good melon.
What, does he wear a cape?
A cape. Why would he wear a cape?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
You know, I could use a partner on this. Are you in?
As long as I'm home by 7.
Great.
If you like his style,
they got a name for me now. The Packer Smacker.
You'll love his attitude.
Score 1 for Team Jim.
Jim Belushi stars.
Play me out, Andy.
In According to Jim. Tuesdays on ABC.
Access the Ultimate Playoffs.
Shot stop.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs continue on ESPN and ESPN2.
What makes SNK's new spring collection of Jones New York suits so spectacular? It's fabrics that play as hard as they work. Fabrics that look and feel luxurious. Fabrics that come in a great assortment of patterns and colors. And now you can save $160 on these great-looking Jones New York suits because at SNK, they're now sale price 2 for $400.
No wonder few stores sell more Jones New York suits than SNK menswear.
Get the best values in America from Dodge. Take our best products like the 250 horsepower Dodge Intrepid SXT, the restyled Stratus SXT, and the sporty Neon SXT. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals like up to a $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months on Intrepid. Add it all up, it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
NBA playoffs start Saturday with a triple header on ESPN. Joining us now to play a little Take Your Pick, ESPN NBA analyst Greg Anthony. Greg, you ready to go?
I'm ready to rock and roll, baby.
All right, well, let's start in the East with the 1-8 matchup between the Pistons and the Magic. Take your pick.
I'm going to take the Pistons. Ben Wallace is going to have an opportunity to get a lot of rest, only one game basically in a week. And Detroit has too much strength on their bench, and I don't think Orlando has enough offense, even as great as Tracy McGrady is.
2-7 matchup between the Nets and the Bucks. They split the regular season series. Take your pick.
I think the key to this series is who's playing the best. And right now, Milwaukee's probably playing better than anybody in the Eastern Conference. And they don't have to worry about being dominated in the paint by New Jersey, especially if Dikembe Mutombo is not going to be able to play, unfortunately. So I'm going to take a big upset here and go with the Bucks.
Pacers and the Celtics 3-6. They too split the regular season 4 games.
Yeah, but again, Boston just does not have enough offense, and I think they're really hindered by the fact that they don't have a true point guard. They got 2 guys averaging double figures on their entire team. No other team in the playoffs with that dilemma. I'm definitely going to have to go with the number 3 seed.
And Greg, our last series in the East, the 76ers and the Hornets. Take your pick.
I tell you what, this is a very intriguing matchup. Philadelphia has had a multitude of injuries down the stretch. Guys are starting to come back. Keith Van Horn played exceptionally well in their last game, but I really like New Orleans. They have a lot of experience, a lot of depth. Jamal McGlory is quietly becoming a superstar in this league. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go with Philadelphia because of the answer, Allen Iverson.
Let's go out west now, and perhaps the most compelling matchup to me in the first round, that 1-8 matchup between the Spurs and the Suns. Suns won the regular season series 3-1. What do you think?
I tell you, the fact that it is compelling when you have a 1-8 tells you you need to be concerned if you're the San Antonio Spurs. They have the perfect complement to beat San Antonio, that is Phoenix, because Stephon Marbury, I think, has had the best year of any point guard in the NBA. Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, maybe the best 1-2 forward combination in the league. And they're very young, very explosive, and very confident. But again, at the end of the day, Tim Duncan, I just have to go with him and have the Spurs pull that out.
The Kings and Jazz seem to play every year in the playoffs. Utah, Sacramento, take your pick.
Well, Sac's going to have to play well. One thing about Utah, they're not going to beat themselves because of the experience. But Sacramento, too deep, too powerful, and home court, no problem.
Well, the Blazers didn't exactly finish the regular season on a winning note. They've got that 3-6 matchup with the Mavericks now. Take your pick there.
I tell you what, it's going to be this could be the best series in the Western Conference. I think, again, I may go with a slight upset here and take the Blazers. I think that their ability to post up at a lot of different positions and dominate on the backboard may give them an edge at the end of the day.
So the Timberwolves, finally, they get the home court, and guess who's coming to call? The reigning champs again. Timberwolves, Lakers, what do you think?
Well, the fact that Shaquille O'Neal and the Lakers are playing their best basketball by far of the season, and more importantly, Shaquille O'Neal is healthy. Unfortunately, Kevin Garnett being my MVP choice will fall short again in the first round.
Greg, definitive as always. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
Greg gets us through the first round, and the viewing public with computers getting us through the Western Conference playoffs. Our question of the night, which team will win the West? Over 100,000 of you logging in to pick the Lakers. Nearly 36% saying, closely followed by the Kings. Vegas, by the way, has established Sacramento as a 2-1 favorite.
Mets and Pirates, and the highlights to prove it. 3-0 Mets in the 7th, 2 on, nobody out. Cliff Floyd to Randall Simon. Still in the 7th. Bases loaded for Kumo V. Mo Vaughn. 4 for 5 on the night with 4 RBIs. 4 hits tonight, had 6 hits coming in. Raised his average from 167 to 244. 3 runs come in. Mets up 6-0. Top of the ninth, Mets up 6-1. Mike Piazza went deep last night, and he's up to no good again tonight. Piazza. It's not playable. Mets up 7-1, go on to win it 7-2. Piazza with homers on successive nights.
So to come on SportsCenter, LeBron on his way in, MJ already out. How a potential heir apparent performed in front of the original article. You know, LeBron may not be a carbon copy of Michael, but Marcus appears to be a dead ringer for Mike. The Hokies are high on their new and could it be improved version of Vic?
Question of the night, brought to you by Kia and the all-new Sorento SUV. Kia, make every mile count.
2 back-to-back sports centuries on ESPN Classic. Each night, the icons of yesteryear, then the heroes of here and now. Sports Century's Old School, New School Week. All this week, 8 Eastern on ESPN Classic.
We're ready in advance, no matter when or where. We're ready in advance, whatever's waiting there. Around these parts, trouble doesn't stand a chance. For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
There's only 2 ugly people in the world, and your mama's both of them.
You know, your mama's so fat, she stepped on the dollar and made change.
I heard your mama's so ugly, she robbed the bank with no gun, just stuck her head over the counter and say, put that money in that bag.
Stick 'em up. Stick 'em up.
Timing was a little off.
Oh, timing was a little off. Timing is way off.
You're not funny.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Up top.
For years, people have been telling us that a long-distance call is so different from a local call that it has to cost more money. They both look like apples to me. That's what's great about the neighborhood. You can get unlimited local and long distance for one low monthly price. So every call from home is the same. That's some fresh news.
Call 1-800-JOIN-MCI today for unlimited local and long distance in the neighborhood.
Mark and Karen have twins. They use their Discover card because it pays them for the things they buy. So far, they've earned a cashback bonus award of $140. It's money they use to pay for a special night out and an emergency 24-pack. Discover card. Why not get paid for the things you buy anyway?
It took a disciple of Hayden Fry to revive the Iowa program. Kirk Ferentz.
Last one. Say hut. Bring it out. That's it. Dig it out. Every time you finish, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up.
He is working on a new quarterback. Same thing at Texas. Chance Mock will replace Chris Sims. He's a great athlete. Same thing at College Station. Reggie McNeil is the Aggies' new quarterback. Here scrambling in the spring game. When you talk about talented new quarterbacks trying to make their mark this season, you have to include Marcus Vick at Virginia Tech. You might recall his brother, Michael, took the Hokies to the championship game in his freshman season and continues to revolutionize in quarterbacking every Sunday. He did not go to Syracuse because he didn't want them at comparisons with Donovan McNabb. But as G. Wojciechowski reports, little Marcus is not shying away from comparisons.
The physical similarities are uncanny, leading many to ask if Marcus Vick, a redshirt freshman at Virginia Tech, is the right-handed version of his older brother Mike.
I was watching some of his high school tapes, and I thought it was my tape for a second.
He's made go! He will! Touchdown, Michael Vick!
If you watch him, you would think it was me.
Seeing some of the things that he's doing, you're like, wow, man. I thought it would be hard to duplicate Mike, but it's not.
It's different because he's way much faster. I tell you that. Stronger, bigger, you know. But as the years progress, I'm gonna come around to that.
A 46-yard throw by the incomparable Mike Vick.
I may be a little bit faster than him, but you know he still can run. He can flat out run, and when he get in the open field. You know, he has the ability to make moves, the same type of moves that I do.
College football's most intriguing quarterback controversy is in Blacksburg, Virginia. Head coach Frank Beamer must choose between junior-to-be Brian Randall, who won 8 games as a starter last season, or Marcus Vick, who has no game experience, but does have that famous last name and the kind of potential that makes coaches drool.
They're both very talented, both the right kind of people, the right kind of guy you want to lead your football team. But I can tell you, Brian Randall's going to be tough to beat out.
I realize how tough it is. I mean, it's going to be for Marcus, you know, stepping in and trying to come in without any game experience. I mean, you can't really teach game experience. But at the same time, I feel that, yes, it's definitely mine to lose, and I feel like I got the upper hand.
Given what you learned during this redshirt year, do you think you're ready to start?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get out there.
Competition is obviously healthy. I think what adds to the situation is the fans' expectation. The ghosts of Michael still being around here.
That ghost is everywhere on campus. New construction and new practice fields, which exist mostly because of 2 remarkable seasons when Michael Vick made Virginia Tech cool. For Marcus, the shadow of that legacy never fades. They've retired Michael's jersey, but they haven't retired his number. Did you ever give any thought to wearing number 7?
Here at Virginia Tech? Nah, I want to make my own number.
You don't have a problem then with all the things that are related to Michael here then?
Nah, I don't got problems with the comparisons. You know, a lot of it's still Michael Vick talk. You know, that's my brother. You know, how can I have a problem with that?
Marcus has put on about 20 pounds, and Big Brother says that Marcus has better touch, much better touch at his age than Michael did.
Well, unfortunately, he has a very tough guy to take out of there, and Brian Randall. Brian Randall established himself last year as a big-time quarterback. If he can come back and have a big year and maybe cut down on the turnovers, that's an area he wants to try to improve. I think Virginia Tech is a team to keep an eye on, not only in the Big East, but nationally. They have a great schedule. They get the Hurricanes at home. Marcus Vick will be on the field, but it could be as a wide receiver just to get Randall Randall and Vic together on the same field. Keep an eye on the Hokies. I think they're real.
Talk about receiver. They moved their All-American defensive back, D'Angelo Hall, from defensive corner and now playing him both ways. They're playing him at wideout. The reason why Frank Beamer told me nobody can catch that guy. They think he's as good as Charles Woodson both ways. Good player.
McNeil and A&M at Virginia Tech Thursday night game early in the season.
We'll have that one.
Lightning round. Other teams besides the Hokies to watch out for.
Well, I think there's a team in the Big Ten. Last year, Joe Tiller and Purdue, they struggled and went 7-6, had 6 losses, all by a touchdown or less. They have 17 starters coming back, 5 of their first 6 at home. Purdue has all their offensive skill. I'm telling you, the Boilermakers will be good.
Talk about offense. Cody Pickett, Washington, Reggie Williams. They almost beat Michigan in the opener last year, and they got the Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus in the opener. Watch out. They can score against anybody, including the Buckeyes.
Good segue. Our 5 schools in 5 days takes us to Columbus, of course, where Jim Tressel and the defending national champions have the entire offense back. Hey, Washington, Ohio State, game day opener.
Could be.
Possibly in August. I could see that being a scenario.
I think so.
All right, let's go back to the studio.
Breakdown. Brought to you by McDonald's.
Still to come, the future meets the past. LeBron James has game, but how does it hold up under the pressure of the critical eye of his hero, the freshly retired Michael Jordan? You know, he had big RBI nights, elimination games, big homecoming, plenty of opportunity to make the call of the day.
Back to Redden, the drive, safe rebound, scores!
Delivers down the right field line towards the corner, and it's a grand slam off the bat of Carlos Baerga, and he hits the lottery. A grand slam.
It's capable of taking you to places on Earth that are rough. So the all-new 4Runner has been designed to be even more spacious and comfortable along the way. You'll feel like you finally got some breathing room between yourself and everyone else. The all-new 4Runner. No other SUV has ever been on its terrain.
Once again for the Texans, Carr brings the offense to the line. The Cowboys' front 4 has been all over the rookie.
What does your team need? The NFL Draft. Boomer, Mel Kiper Jr. and the crew bring you 17 hours, 32 teams, all 262 picks, because every round counts. The 2003 NFL Draft presented by Coors Light. Coverage begins next Saturday and Sunday.
This is Computer A. It uses InsightBB.com, the new high-speed broadband internet access. Computer B uses ordinary dial-up service. A is always on and ready to take you to the internet. Computer B has to wait. Computer A is up to 100 times faster than Computer B. And A frees up a phone line. So there you are. Fast, direct, and convenient, or slow, indirect, and frustrating. How do you want to reach the internet? InsightBB.com. Instant internet.
What makes S&K's new spring collection of Jones New York suits so spectacular? It's fabrics that play as hard as they work. Fabrics that look and feel luxurious. Fabrics that come in a great assortment of patterns and colors. And now you can save $160 on these great-looking Jones New York suits because at S&K, they're now sale price 2 for $400.
No wonder few stores sell more Jones New York suits than S&K menswear.
We're looking forward to tipping off the NBA playoffs here on ESPN. We'll have a triple header for you on Saturday. Get it started up with the Bucks and the Nets. Follow that up with the Celtics and the Pacers. Isaiah and the guys start at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Then we'll go out west at 5:30. The Suns and the Spurs. Phoenix handled the Spurs in the regular season. On Sunday, it'll be game 1 of the Magic and Pistons.
LeBron James World Tour resumed tonight in Washington, D.C. Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing watching the Capital Classic, and LeBron James 13 of 30 from the floor. This is his third All-Star game, and the rules are that if you play in 3 All-Star games, you're ineligible to play your first year in college. So that means LeBron James is officially going pro, right? He lost, though, this game.
Well, you know, surprises do happen. The call of the day, Javi Lopez with a grand homecoming.
And the 1-2 to Javi, deep to left field. What a night for Javi Lopez. Wow. The island may never recover.
Baseball tonight in the on-deck circle. We'll check in with the boys as they check on the Dodgers. We'll close up shop in a moment.
ESPN the magazine on newsstands now.
We see a mom and a CEO. We see Teacher of the Year. We see 400 employees in 3 years. A 23-city tour. We see the toughest reservation in town. And you reaching for the stars. At Microsoft, we stand in awe of you and your potential. It's what inspires us to create software that helps you reach it.
We've come this far. It's within our grasp. We can do it. Now, what time is it? Winning time! I can't hear you. What time is it? Winning time! Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Winning time!
It's time for McDonald's new Winning Time game. Just peel, reveal for a chance to win great prizes like drive time, sell time, cash time, and chow time. It's fast, fun, and easy.
What time is it? Winning time! No, what time is it really? We've got practice.
Oh yeah, summertime, flip-flop, small top, party bumper non-stop. So much ice in my cooler, you think I was a jeweler. Bling, catching rays, making plays. Summer got more zap than a microwave. Dig blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes too. All the honeys checking who? The king of Malibu. The silver bizzle.
I had lotion on my hands. I burn easily.
Question of the night, brought to you by...
All right, I had a graphic up during the call of the day that said that Skip Carey had the call of the day. It was actually Pete Van Wieren. They probably share everything anyway, don't they?
Well, maybe not. Baseball tonight is next. For Reese Davis, I'm Dan Patrick. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.